And I didn't get the PPT. Like you would be sharing the
Oh,
PPT.
actually, I forgot to share. Sorry, that's my
I was
mistake.
about
I will share it today. I will share it today. I will share the Linux commands PPT today. Introduction to
okay.
DevOps. I'm just adding some more slides to make it good for you only.
Okay.
So I will do it and I will share the introduction to DevOps. And the Linux commands, I will share it. And today's class, the internet and networking basics, that I think it goes for 3 classes. So I'm gonna share the NPPT once the class has been completed. Means the 3 classes. So
Okay.
after that you can go through it and you can start with them.
Done, Ashok. Done, Ashok.
So let's see. Okay, let's start. Okay, I think you are the only one, so I'm gonna bug you today. So
Okay.
the one-on-one
I
session
think
like kind
I
of that.
think Sunit's gonna good join. He has message in the group.
Yeah, but see, until he doesn't join, so you are the one
Yes. Yes. Yes.
who have to answer to me.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Okay, before starting, could you tell me what do you know about networking?
Networking.
You use internet, right? It's an
Yes.
internet.
Yes.
It is a digital era, and everyone uses
Hmm.
internet. Everyone has a smartphone. Before smartphone, we used to have in the laptop. We used to go to the cyber caves and we used to have the internet and everything. So, what do you know about networking? Means simple, basic means if you don't have
Like
idea, just whatever you know, just let me know.
exactly, it is a exchanging of data.
No, you don't have to just mention the definition. You just in the layman language, you can just mention me what is networking in your way. What is exactly networking?
Connecting different points.
Okay, connecting different points. So I consider it as communication.
Not
You are saying
in
connecting.
not in that sense. Connecting different points in the sense like uh like in various, they would be at different locations. They would be not knowing the data what they want. Hello.
Yes.
Am I correct? I'm like doubting that.
No. See, I will just give you an example. So let's go like this. So now consider that you use Uber or Ola, means anything, any service.
Okay.
So like consider that we take a Uber or maybe Ola. So for us, from outside of this, this is an app or maybe a service for us. It's just a Uber or Aurora you have in your app. So you are just going to login. So before logging, what exactly you do?
We'll be creating an account.
Okay. Okay. Now I will consider it as an authentication.
Yes.
Okay. Now consider it. You are saying you are going to create account. So I will consider it as authentication. Okay. After authentication, what you are going to do? So once you are logged in, what you are going to do?
And once you are logged in, we'll be mentioning about our data, like
So your authorization
yes,
means what exactly you are doing. So
age, date of birth, details about us.
Are you the person or not? What's your details? You're going to fill everything. After
Yes.
that, what you are going to do?
And we'll book the cab then. Later on, we'll find the
Okay.
places from where to where.
Okay. Okay. You will book a cab. And if there is any issue, what you are going to do?
We'll report to the customer support team.
Okay. So you are gonna chat or call. You're gonna chat directly. Maximum times you're gonna chat about these things, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one more thing. So from outside point of view, from us, what we are seeing is just a Uber app where Ola app, where we are logging with your phone number or maybe with your mail ID. We are authenticating, and once Ola Uber feels that we are the person with the correct details and everything, so it is authorizing us so that we can use their app. And after once it has been done, so you are going to use the maps where
Yes.
you will be seeing the locations.
Okay.
And once the booking has been done, and you are going to make the payment. And how the payments are going to be made? Payments can be made multiple ways, like
Yes.
uh, UPI is there with the card, and in the card you have multiple options, debit and credit, and in the debit card you have more lot of options like American Express,
E-shopping.
Visa, Master. Okay, these are all the payments. So from layman point of view, from our point of view, Uber is just an app for us. We will just log in with our credentials, it will authorize for us. We will go to the maps, we will search our location, we will book the cab. And once we go back to our destined location, we will make the payment through UPI, card, cash, anything. If we face any issue, we directly going to chat. So for Uber, for us, it's just a single app. But for Uber, these are all the internal services where this will be authenticated to this one, this will be communicating to with this one, this will be communicating to this one. And Uber and Ola doesn't have their own mapping. They doesn't have their own maps. They will use this Google Maps. So these internal services will be using this maps, means the booking will be using directly this Google Maps to find out, means where he is finding. So they are using an external service. So for you, so much, right? These are our internal services, but for us, it's a single thing. Here, this
Yes.
will be external services because the payment and everything, as you see every time. So now T is a separate entity. This is a separate entity, but for us, it is a single app. We are communicating, we are using Uber and we are doing everything. But for Uber and Ola, they have their own internal services. These will be taken by Uber because they will be authenticating, authorizing, and they will expecting the booking. For booking, you are using the maps. The maps will be provided by Google. They are using the Google Maps. If you want anytime, just check how the maps will be marked out because they are be using the Google Maps. So with these maps, they will be considering the locations using external services and they are booking the map. Once it is done, it will asking you to authorize the payment. The payment will be going to a third party service. The It may be a UPI, we're using a Google Pay or Phone Pay, or maybe a card. You'll be using debit or credit card. In the debit and credit card you have the Visa, Master, American Express, Rupee. So these are all the cards where you are going to make the payment. Once the payment is done, again it comes back to the internal service. So they are intercommunicating each other and making us our life very easy, so that from the outside you will not be seeing anything, but from the inside these many processes are running, these many services intercommunicating each other to give you a better network and better futures to you so that you can travel perfectly. So now you understand what exactly I'm trying to say. How exactly the networking works. Hello. Hello. Ashwant, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Ashok.
Uh, you understood what I have said, right?
Yes.
Hi, Arun. Hi, Puneet. I don't know when you have joined. Have you guys following this, or maybe I have to explain once again?
Got a glimpse of it, Ashok, actually, but didn't know where exactly you started with.
Oh, actually, I was checking with what is exactly networking. What is a network? Means what exactly the network is. So in that scenario, I was explaining. See, I'll just give an overview. See, from layman point of view, from our side, in our mobiles, everyone will have a Uber, Ola, whatever may be an app, Amazon, anything. So for us, it's just an app. That application, when we are using, first when you started using that app, you will be authenticating yourself, means you are giving your mobile number or maybe with your email id you are logging in. Once you are logging in, the Uber makes it authorized, means the Uber gives you, okay, this phone number is correct, this mail id is correct one, so it will authorize, means okay, you are ready to use our app, so it will authorize it. Once the authorization is done, it will be help you to go for the booking. So for the booking, it will be using the maps, where you are there, and from there where you want to go. So that maps, after that, once the booking has been done and once you go to your destination location, so it will ask for the payment, where you have, how you want to pay, whether you want to pay through UPI, you want to pay through card, you want to pay through cash, or maybe they have their own wallets, you can pay through wallet. So once this has been done, the Uber app, your work is done. But you have some issue, again you go back to Uber and you will chat with the customer service, or maybe you can call them. So these, from outside point of view, these are all in a single structure for us because it's a single app we are using. But from the Uber point of view, these are all the internal services where your authentication and authorizing it and booking and the chat, these are all the internal services. But when you are going for the booking, the Uber and Ola doesn't have its own app, so they are using the Google Maps to see where exactly you want to go. They are using the Google API, so that this location from where to where it will be accessing. Once it has been done, the payment is being accessed by the third party vendor, where they have their UPI. So the UPI you are using Google Pay, Phone Pay, it's not of your Ola. Card, the Visa, Master, Rupee, American Express, these are all not your Ola. So these are all the third payment. So means these are all external services you are using so that you can make the payment. So from outside, this is a single thing, but from your point of view, these are the internal services, these are the external services. They are all communicating with each other to give you a better life. Means you having a very good app to use and to make our life easy. This is the old point of view how the network works out. Means it's communicating each other, means once you are booking it, so it's transferring the data of yours to authorize it, the authorization is done, it is accepting it, and when booking is going, it is sending the data to maps to see where exact it goes, and it's giving the location back to you, so it's booked or not, the cab person is accepting or not. Once it is done, it is sending data again to the payment mode, asking you to pay it. So there the payment is going again, and once you have paid, it is again sending back that payment back to you, Uber or Ola, saying that okay, the payment is done, now you can go back. So this is a service how the network works. This is how actually we use without from our not with our naked eye, but from the back end how exactly this works out. This is the network. You are with me now?
Yes, Ashok,
Yes,
understood.
Ashok. Yeah, got your point.
Now, so let's go on. So before starting, so this is the basics of networking. So as I mentioned, as now without internet, we will not be able to use the Uber, Ola, anything. So how exactly you think that this internet came into the picture? So first point is that this internet is a distributed network system. This is not a centralized system. Means like if you see in the picture, let me. Are you able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, overall page we can see that one.
Okay.
There's some background noise, visual kind of noise.
Oh, okay. It's from my side. Actually, in my house, the idli is going on. So sorry for it.
Okay, okay.
Just a minute. Yeah. Now the background noise gone.
Yes, Ashok.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are you other than this? Are you not able to see any screen, right?
No, Ashok.
Okay. Let me share the entire screen. Just give me a minute. Let me know once you are able to see my full screen.
Yes, we can see now. Basis
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Okay.
networking.
Now, as I mentioned, if you want to use anything right now in this modern world, you need internet. So, do you know how the internet actually got the name? Means how exactly it came into the picture?
Actually, if I'm not wrong, first it was actually invented in US Army for their internal communication.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. See, the it was a result of the U.S. Defense Department's research, where they called it as an Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. Means before where they were using it was a centralized system. Means it was with a single concept where it was having the every power and it is using it. But they want to make sure that it should be distributed whether if any issues means once the US gets attacked at any time means if the nuclear bombing has happened, any bombing happens on the US. So if US is destroyed, that's it. So there will not be internet at all in the world. So at that time, they thought of using it to distribute, means pointing it to different points so that it will be useful. So that came into the picture of internet. That's how we are using the internet right now. So as I mentioned, distributed and centralized. So now consider that suppose here you are someone. Suppose if you want to deliver a package from US to India through a physical, how much time it may take? Yeah, you can guess it. It's
And
just a simple
maybe a
analogy I'm
10
asking.
fast courier, maybe a 10 to 10 days, maybe. I mean, not sure.
And if you access the same site through internet, how much time it may take to get the data from US to India?
Yeah. Minutes, seconds.
Yeah, it takes milli or microseconds because that much fast the nodes works out. So here, if you are here and you are working out here and you are accessing the data of this point, and if this data point gets destroyed, and still you want to have the data, this may provide you the data, this may provide you the data, this may give you the node action. So this way, it is a distributed network where you will be having if someone means if it is this destroyed, it will be taken from here or maybe from here. So that way, this distributed network is mentioned where it should not have a single manpower, so that it is having multiple node points where you can getting the data from multiple points. Means if the communication has been destroyed here, so it will be communicating to this so that it can get the data, or maybe it has been destroyed here, so this will be giving the communication to this one. So that way this distributed network has been developed, so that in future at any point there should not be any issue at all, so that it will have a separate node points where you can get the data from anywhere. So this was the US Defense Department's APRANET when it started, and now it became as internet. So that way it worked out. So this is a distributed central network. So this way how the internet got into. And internet is a network of networks. Means if you're having a computer here, you have a computer here, you have a computer here, you have a computer here, and every time when you are accessing the data, it is taking the network from here, or it may be taking from here, it may be going like this. So it is a cluster of networks where you'll be having many networks of networks, where billions of computers sending you data, taking it, receiving and responding. That way it works out. So that is the same thing we have explained in the PPT. So I will just go through it. If you just mean sure. So it's just a worldwide network of computers, global communication system that links thousands of individual networks. As I mentioned, it transfers the data through mail, chat, and we have a many more mediums to exchange the information. So as I mentioned, why they want to make it as a distributed, not centralized. This was the reason. They want to send the communication not to survive a nuclear attack. So that if, as I mentioned, if this centralized system is at one place and that place gets destroyed, that's it. We in the world, there will not be having any network at all. It will be stopped here itself. So for that reason, they pointed this distributed network where if it gets fail also, so this point will be taking the network communicating to this point and taking the data, or maybe this point is communicating to this point and getting the data. So that way they are taking the data, and they are sending the data in the blocks and into packets as fast as possible. That I will be explaining going further, how exactly the data gets transferred, how we actually take it in the TCP/IP protocols. I will explain you, but this is just an example. I'm just mentioning how exactly the data gets transferred. Any questions up to now?
No, Ashok. Carry on.
No. Yes.
And one more thing is like the distributed system which you told it works in the form of a mesh kind of network, is it?
Yeah, see, as I mentioned, see, if you see this image here, this is a distributed network. See, if you have many more node points, see, if one gets destroyed also at some point, this will be communicating to other node point and taking the data. What is the node points and how the data gets transferred into the packet? That I will explain going further. But it's just the internet is a communication, worldwide network of computers where it communicates with each other, and it's a network of networks. You will be having billions of computers and other things where you are accessing. And right now we have IoT, Internet of Things, your smartwatch, smart TVs, smart refrigerator, smart bulbs. These are all using the internet and work communicating with each other to give you the life easier, makes you the life easier. So that if you see, if you are using the watch, you don't have to see who is calling to your phone. You can check it on your watch itself, who is you are calling. And if you're getting a message, you're using your smartphone. These are all connecting. These are sending the data to one and each other. So this is a global network where it is communicating with each other, and with the access, it is helping you out. Got it? Hello.
Yes, Ashok.
See, I want this session to be more interactive, so that I'll be able to, if you have any doubts, anything, you can just go on. And but after once I say everything is
No,
okay,
no.
you just start.
Actually, there was a lag in your voice actually, so we couldn't hear. Now it's all fine. We are able to follow Ashok.
Okay. Now, as I mentioned, let me go here only. So now, if you okay. Now, if you see, have you ever thought when you are using, if you are here, you are a person and you are using is your computer and you are typing youtube.com. youtube.com and you are searching for a video, and this will be sent to some the link which you are, when you are clicking youtube.com and you are searching for a video, it is a data where it is sending something from your computer to other computer to get that one. So this is client, this is server. So now in the internet is basically divided into two categories. One is server, another one is client. So where you are getting the data from the youtube.com, because the client is where, someone right, I'm saying it correctly. So this is the client, and for if you are hitting that from here, from your client system, it is taking from here, and like that multiple from India there are 130 million people. So they are hitting the youtube.com, and there will be multiple clients where they are hitting the server, hitting the server, hitting the server, and they want the data from here. So these are all the client machines. So where we are the consumers, means we are the clients where we want some data. So we are hitting the server to get what we exactly needed. As the YouTube, Amazon, these are all the vast networks. So what they have did is that this was basically a long back, means the server and client machine. Right now for separate each individual region, they mentioned a different servers where you can get the data from. For Bangalore region, you will be getting from the Mumbai, or maybe for Kolkata people, they will be getting from Hyderabad. So that way they mentioned different kinds of servers, means this server again has been distributed into small servers, so to send the data very fastly, so that they don't have any issue getting it to the all their clients, not having any data issues, means not having the speed or the lag when they accessing the YouTube or any other website. So these servers again been contributing into a main server. So that way it has been distributed where we are the clients, and the servers means the machine which sends the data from server to the clients is called service. These are the servers, and the ones which we are consuming the data, we are called the clients. So that was basically here it has been explained. So any doubts, means how, if you are you getting on it, right, what I'm trying to say?
Yes, Ashok.
Yes.
As mentioned, it's the same thing. See, the machines which provide services to others are called servers, and that and those that consume such services are called clients. So it's a just simple thing. When you connect to the Amazon website, there are a host of machines working in the background to serve your request, which can be called servers. The machine from which you are trying to access Amazon website is known as the client machine. This, as I said, the internet have two broad categories: clients and servers. So whatever now, right now I'm working in, and I'm trying on the autodrawing.com where I'm using it, or maybe on the Skype I'm using it, or maybe the Amazon instance I'm using it. My machine is a client machine, and what I'm accessing and I'm getting the data is a server machine. Got it?
Yes.
Yes, Ashok.
Yes, Ashok.
You have a basics of, this is a basic of networking. So you have clear cut idea, right?
Yes, Ashok.
Okay. Now I want, I will go through analogy. So I will give an example, and based on that, we will be working it out. Means I will be explaining what exactly I want to say. Suppose now I will go to a blue dot delivery, or maybe a blue dot, maybe to some other courier company. Now I want to send a package. Want to send a package to Puneet. I want to send a package to Puneet. Also, I want to send another package to Yashwant. Tell me if I'm writing your names correctly or not, so that it should not have any issue. Okay,
No,
now I want to send a package. So if I go to the bluedart.com and I will just ask them, I want to send a package to Puneet and I want to send a package to Yashwant. Will they able to send the package to you?
yes, they'll be able to send us the package.
Means
But they need the
just
address.
yes, with the just the name, they'll be able to send the package.
No.
Okay,
No, no.
no, with the address. Okay, complete.
See, as that's the reason. So I'm asked them to send a package with your name. I'm just telling them I need to send a package to Puneet. Will they able to send it?
No, no, no.
No.
Not possible.
Okay. Now after this, what I do is that I will ask them. Okay, now I am giving your authentication. Means I'm giving your passport number, or maybe your Aadhaar number, and I will ask them. Now I have given you the detail passport Aadhaar. Will you be able to? Still, they will be able to send the detail. Means the courier.
No, not exactly.
Not exactly. No.
Okay. So if I want to send a daily package to you, I need your address, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
So at any point, if I have your unique identification number also, but still I need your address to send you the package. So the same way the internet works like this, where it needs the address to send the data, to send to you the data. So how exactly this works out? This is called, this one which you are having using the unique identification is called MAC address, and the address which means, see, you will be changing many addresses. Means once you are staying at some place, after some time you're going to change some other place. So this may be changing at every time period, right? So based on your situations, based on your locations, you are going to change. This is called IP address. So in this analogy, I'm just mentioning the MAC address will never be able to modify. Means this is your identification number to identify you. You are Yashwant. So that way, this with your passport number, with your other number, it will be mentioned. This is his unique identification number. This is Yashwant Royal or something. The same way, the IP address, with this address, after having your IP address, they will be able to send you the package. Means, okay, this person has this unique identification, but still I need his address to send the package. That is called IP address. You got my analogy. I'm just giving an example going further, because with this I will be explaining further.
Yes, Ashok.
Yes, Ashok.
Okay. So in order to communicate with each other, so they are using your addresses. It's the same thing here. It has been explained. To transfer data from one computer to another computer, we need address. So that address is called IP address. IP address is an internet protocol. Internet protocol. This IP address is a unique address that identifies a device. Means whatever you are using on your system, laptop, these ones, these are all the IP addresses. Means whatever you're having. So if we go on the command prompt, and if I click on IP config, see, this is an IP address. This is an IP address which I am able to connect. I will be using this one. This has been provided by my ISP, Internet Service Provider. This may change once if I switch off my router for a full day or maybe 2 days. It is not permanent. It will be modifying. It will be changing continuously. Means if you're not using for 1 month, this IP address means if I am connected through Wi-Fi, if I connect through my mobile data, this IP address will change. Let me show you. So this is the IP config. So it's working it out. So now when I try to connect, means see, this is the public IPv4 address, this is a private IPv4 address. But when I log into this server and when I click on the IP config or maybe the Linux having a different one, the IP address will be different one. Let me show you. I don't think IP config will work here. I think if config will work here. See, here the private IP address was this, and the IP address which it is accessing. So I'm just logged into different server. I'm using a different with the same broadband network. With the same Wi-Fi I'm using it, but the IP address got changed to that server. Means it changes according to that. Means with the server, it will be able to access a different thing. So that way, if you are having an IP address that is actually temporary, means it will be changing. Means it will be changing means once if you are using it, it will be provided by your internet service provider. And if you are not using for a whole day or maybe a whole night, so it will be allocated to some other other system. And once you logged in back, means once you have switched on your network, so it will allocate you another pool IP from its pool. So these people will have some pool of IPs where they can allocate each other one different IPs every time whenever they want. So how exactly this works out, I will explain. So what exactly this IP address is, that I will be going further. Do you have any questions on this?
No, no, Ashok.
So here, I think we can use the ping and we can go for to see. I'm pinging google.com. So it is having a different IP address. See, it is getting the ping. I'm pinging it. I'm trying to access the google.com where exactly it is working it out. Or maybe curl. So this is the details it is sending me back. If I'm trying to hit the Google, so this much I'm getting the data, means I'm just hitting it. So it is sending me, means it is working out. So IP address is basically divided into two types. One is IPv4 and another one is IPv6. So, but before that, what exactly the IP address is, that, as I mentioned here, as I showed you, this one 192.168.c4. So if I go here, so here how it has been designated. So is a string of numbers separated by periods. Means string of numbers means A, dot B dot C dot C dot D. So a string of numbers separated by dots, as we mentioned, or set of 4 numbers. These are the 4 numbers where it has been set, and each number can be set, means from 0 to 255. 0 will be the 1. So this A will be able to, means this number will be able to get minimum value 0, maximum to 250. Means it means that 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0. This will be the minimum value, and maximum will be 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. Up to this range, this IP address will be provided. Means the minimum value will be 0, and the maximum it goes up to 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. This many IP range address will be provided, are present in the world right now. All over the world, this many IP ranges, up to the starting will be 00 and the ending will be 255, 255, 255. So now, if you are having, like if I'm considering 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 1, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 2, 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 3, going further, 0 dot 0 dot 1 dot 0, 0 dot 0 dot 1 dot 1, in 0 dot 0 dot 2 dot 0, 0 dot 0 dot 2 dot 1, like going further 255, like 0 dot 0 dot 0 dot 255, like that way it will go on further and further and further. So at the end it goes back to 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255. Can anyone tell me why it only goes up to 0 to 255? Means it will be having only up to 256 values, but it will be ranging up to 0 to 255. Do you know why?
No, sure.
So a computer understands only bits, right? You know that, right? Computer understands only bits.
ASCII values are still 256, right? That is the reason.
Not about the ASCII value. I'm just having the computer understands only the bits values, right? So the A is having 8 bits. Okay. Now the B is having 8 bits. Now the C is having 8 bits. Now the D is having 8 bits. Like that way it goes on 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Like that way it goes up to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So these are all 8 bits values where it is having 8 bits, means it is having 2 power 8.
8
Just a minute.
cap.
It will be 2 power. Where is it in the power?
I use the cap symbol, Ashok. That is better, I think.
Sorry?
Cap symbol, shift to 6.
I closed it. I'm just going to mention it here itself. 2 to the power 8. So what is the 2 to the power of 8 value?
256.
Yeah, that's a simple value. So that is the reason we are having only 250. If it is 256, why we are considering only giving 255?
It starts.
Sorry?
0 is also counted. It starts
Yeah.
with 0, 0.
That's right. So if you count from 0 to 255, it will be 256. So that's the reason we will be having 0 to 255. Can anyone do a Google search and tell me how many IP values are there in the world right now? You can do it. Means just a simple guess. How many IP with the permutation combination, whatever you think, how many values are there?
4.3 billion.
Sorry?
Yeah, it says 4.3 billion, Ashok.
4 billion. So let me do it. So now we are having, this is a 2 power 8, 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 right? So everything is a 8 bits, right? So now considering it's a 2 power 8, so I'm just considering it 2 power 8 plus 2 power 8. What's the power, man? 2 power 8. Like that way, it's a 4 8. So now if I calculate, it will be 2 power 32.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the value I think you are going to get it.
Yeah, that only we got that. 4.
So 2 power 32. This one means every bit is having, every string of number is having 8 bits. So 8 bits means 2 power 8, 2 power 8, 2 power 8, 2 power 8. So that way 2 power 32. This many IP ranges are present for us. This many IP ranges are present in the world right now for IPv4. This is this many IP addresses. You got it what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing. IP address is assigned to your device by your ISP through it wrote back your IP address and they're giving access. For example, turning your modem, you can change it. So as I mentioned, there are two types of IP addresses, IPv4 and IPv6. Right now we are using is IPv4. IPv6 is a hexadecimal. This one is a IPv6. This is for the future, means it's still working in the working process, means it's still working out. This IPv4 is the one which we are using. This IPv6 going forward, this is a hexadecimal number where it will be having 128-bit address, and IPv4 is having 32-bit address as 2 port 32. So, but this one will be 2 power 128. So that way it works out. And this is a new version of the internet protocol. So going forward, we are going to use more on this, means not here, means in the future. They're still working on it. So how exactly this can be modified and they work out. So that way. So it's the same thing I have mentioned here, 32-bit address, initial version of the internet protocol, new version. Address representation is in decimal, address in hexadecimal. Do you have any questions?
Is it possible to change this MAC address? Sure.
No, I have not yet gone to Mac. First on IP. I will explain Mac. I'll ask this question to you only once I've explained. You will be able to answer.
Okay. And one more
On the
question.
IP. On the IP. Yeah.
Can we able to change the IP address?
Yeah, sure. We can. It depends. See, this IP address will be assigned to your ISP from your internet service provider. Free. From with you, if you connect with your mobile data, you will be having a different IP address. If you connect through your router through your Wi-Fi, it will be having a different IP address. If you are connecting through your what is called modem, it will be having different IP address because it will be provided by internet service provider. See, right now I'm using an Airtel internet. So this is the reason the Airtel has given me this IP address. If I connect through my mobile data, it will be changing my IP address. If you have that doubt, do one thing. See, if I change this just now, this will be disconnected. So again, I have to connect it back, and that's the reason I don't want to do it. Maybe at some other class, I will show you where if you connect through different network, so automatically the IP address will change. If you want, you can try it from your side also. If you are connected through Wi-Fi, just type IP config so that it will be showing you this IP address. Disconnect from that network and connect it through your mobile data or maybe some any other network. So that way it connects you, it shows you different IP address. So it will be provided by your ISP, internet service provider. This ISP is called internet service provider.
Ashok, one small doubt here.
Yes.
This IP is, for example, we are connecting from the router. Is it common to all, or is it going to vary day by day?
It varies. It varies. As I said, it's a unique. This is unique. This is unique. This is unique. This is this many pool of IPs are there right now, right? 02025. So why they will give the same IP address to everyone? So every device will be having a different IP address. It will not be having the same IP address, same different one. Right now, if you are seeing, this is as I showed here itself. See, this is having a different IP address. So see, this having a different IP address. Just now in a different server, I'm having a different IP address. Now here, if I see here in my local system, it is having a different IP address. Are you able to see it, right? The difference.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just showing you two different IP addresses from of two different servers. Means I'm logging in from my local system to a different server. I'm getting a different IP address. And here in my system, it is having a different IP address.
Okay.
So
Even though
each
if we are connected to the same router, the IP address is different to different.
no. See, the router is ISP provided for your local machine. To your local machine, they are giving the IP address. But when you connect to a different server, this is accessed by, this will be provided by Amazon. So Amazon is having a different IP address. So Amazon gives a IP from its pool of IPs. Whatever, how many pool of IPs they having, it will be provided, it will be given by one of it. It's not like that you are using Amazon, all the people who are using Amazon will have single IP. No, this will change. If I turn off this and if I log in from my different if I close this system, again, I close it from different instance, I will be having a different IP, not this the same IP. It will not be giving the same IP for me. Again, it will change. So every time there is a different kind of IP addresses, means see now this the public IPv4 address is different, but when I'm trying to access this IP address is different. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, I see. Okay.
See, this was the communication, means because it is accessing my internet, so it is having a different IP address. And here the public IP for this network, it was having a different IP address. So that way IP address is never the same. Means as I'm saying, for some point of time, if you are not switched off your modem, if you want, I'm giving you an example. If you are using Wi-Fi on your system, do one thing, you disconnect that and try to connect with your mobile data and see that IP address will be changing because it changes. And if you still want to have a differentiate, the whole night, maybe one day, full night, switch off your Wi-Fi, and the next day connect it and see that IP address would have been changed. Because if you are not using the Airtel or maybe with any ISP, it will provide your IP to some other person, and once you come back online, it will allocate another IP to you. It's not like that. It's the same IP has to be on the whole year.
Oh, got it. Got it. Actually.
Any more doubts?
So one more doubt.
Yeah.
Can we modify the IP address? We like whatever you shown that IP address.
No, that's not possible until unless if you are the internet service provider.
Okay. Like how does this IP address mentioned as like you said 0.0.0.000.0.1 after the 250th 53rd iteration in the end.
Okay.
Like initially it starts with 0.0.0.0.1, then 2 0 0 0. First three things will be on 0 until it goes up to 253. Again start with the next number 1.
Yes, this is up to 00255. And
Again
after
it
this
starts with 1 back.
0.0.1.0, it will start from again from the basic, because it here it has been completed. So
Okay.
again it goes to this one. Now here after this it will be completed to 0.0.0.1.255. This will end and it will start from here. Like that way it goes on, goes on, goes on. 0 dot 0.2.255, and again it goes to again a new one where it is having 0.0.3.0, 0.0.3.1, again same thing, 0.3.255. like that way it goes on, goes on, goes on, and it will be having 255.255.255. This is the end value. So this way it works out.
Allocation is done through like manually, or it will be automatically, it will be generating the IP address?
See, the internet gives you a see, for every internet service provider, means Airtel will have some pool of IPs. It will be having some multiple kind of IPs, means they will be having a range from here to here. So they will be having that pool of IPs, and Amazon Web Service will be having a pool of IPs, and the Zio network will be having some pool of IPs. The Act Broadband will be having some pool of IPs. So they will be giving that pool of IPs. From there, it will be giving. So if they are started with 192, they will have 192. Some will be having 170. Some will be having 0.0.1. So that way, they will be having that pool of IPs. They from there it will give. How they give it, it will be depend on the internet service provider. So how many IPs they're having, what are the pool they are having. From there, they are just giving it. So that it is up to there. So how they exactly calculating that, we will not be able to do it from here, because it's their system where they just give a pool of, means if you see that one IP is not being used, so they will allocate to the some other person. And once again, if you come back, so they will take from other IP and they will give to, because they will be having a pool of IPs present with them. So they will pick one and they'll give, it will be automatic. They will manually never do this, because it's a 130. See, just consider for India, it's a 1.3 billion people all are using the internet, and every system have a different IP address. So how they will be able to calculate if one is not using, we should not give them the IP address, no, right? So
Yes,
it
yes.
is not like that. So it depends on internet service provider, how many are using. So that many pool of IPs will be present. So you will be having almost 4.3 billion. So if
Yes.
you're not using, they are just going to pick it out and they're going to some other person.
Ashok, one doubt is like you mentioned earlier that every IP address would be unique, is it? Right?
Yes.
Then my question is, if there are 8 billion people in this world, if all there are only 4.3 billion IP addresses available right now. Suppose if
Okay.
all the 8 billion people log into the internet at once, how will all the IP addresses be unique? It has to repeat, right?
Yeah, as I mentioned, now consider the Earth. See, for us, our daytime. From there, the night time. See, everyone will not be using the same system, right? Everyone will
Yeah,
not be using the same
yeah,
thing.
that was my question, Ashok. Sorry to interrupt. That was my question. What if it is definitely not possible? That scenario is definitely not possible. But what if all the 8 billion people access to the internet at once, like regardless about the time, here it will be day, there it will be night, regardless of all those things. What if all the 8 billion people access to the internet at once? Then IP address will definitely repeat, right? There will not be a
See,
uniqueness
8
in
billion people means, as I mentioned, okay, let me give an example. So here, see, this IP address, the internet service provider, for your mobile, if you are using the internet, means if you are having your modem, so 8 billion people will not have the same modem, right? See, the 8 billion people will not be using the same network. Means, suppose, now consider in India, in Bangalore itself, in my home, I will be using Airtel internet. Okay, in my single internet in Airtel, in my single Airtel Wi-Fi, I may having three people, and in my next house there is other person who is using Geo network and Geo Wi-Fi, and he is having six people. So that for Geo Wi-Fi it will be having a single IP. For my Airtel Wi-Fi, I will be having a single IP. So here only my nine people are being detected from the 8 billion, right? That way, the modem, not for the mobile, for the modem. So it will be having different IPs, not for the internet. See, the Airtel is having internet service provider. That Airtel Wi-Fi's will be having a different IPs. But for the Airtel network, means whatever you're using the mobiles, your mobile devices will not have IP addresses. Only for the modems and the routers, these are Wi-Fi's and the data spots which you are using, that will having the IP addresses, not for the mobile data. So the Airtel is a network, right? Will be having a single IP because you are using the Airtel. But when you go to the Airtel Wi-Fi, and if you are using a different data point, means the modem, the router, it will be having a different IP. But for the Airtel, when it is giving for the Bangalore, it will be having a single IP address. But it for Kolkata, it may be having a different one. So that way it works out. Means it will, from single Bangalore region, if you are using the Airtel, so it will have single IP. So it is giving all the data from that single IP address.
Yes, yes. Got your point.
So you got my point, right?
We're getting connected to Wi-Fi, then definitely the people who are getting connected will have the same IP address only.
Yes, means the mobile will not have IP, but it will be having the same data point from that IP address. It will be using the data from that IP address. It will be transferring the data or communicating through internet through that IP address.
Got your point. Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions? See, this is the basic because I'm just going through basics only just now. This week I will go only for basics. So if you want to repeat any session also, just let me know. I will repeat it again. I don't have any issue because see, if the basics are correct for the internet and networking, because the DevOps engineer has to know how exactly the IPv4 works and how exactly when we are actually accessing the internet, how we want to keep our system safe and secure. So we have to understood. So and that's the reason I'm asking. If you don't understand, let me know. I will repeat it again. I don't have any issue with that.
Nothing as of now, Ashok.
Once again, we have to go through your recording sessions, Ashok. We are new to for this one actually.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. If you want, I can repeat because I have no issues. So
No,
now
not here, not here.
Okay, now we will go through the MAC address. So as I said, unique authentication, you will be having MAC address. What is this MAC address? MAC address will be denoted with a 48 hexadecimal and it will be analyzed like this: A dot B, 6 hexadecimal number, B. At some places they use A hyphen B, C hyphen D hyphen E hyphen F. See, the analogy is the same. It is the same thing, but the thing is that how exactly they're used. So this is a 48 bits and a 12-digit hexadecimal number. 12-digit hexadecimal number means 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7, comma 8, comma 9. Sorry, 9. A, comma B, comma C, comma D, comma E, comma F. This is the MAC address. How exactly the 12 hexadecimal number works out. So this is a 12-digit hexadecimal, 6-byte binary number, which is first 6 digits. So now I will explain. I will just go through it. So how it see, this is a physical address. So now if you see the IP config, oh, you are not getting here. Okay, let me. If I click IP config all, if you are seeing this is the physical address. This is called MAC address. This MAC address is for this my system, my local system, my laptop. This physical address will never change. This is the unique for your system, for your own laptop. And for mobiles, it will be having a different one. If you want, you can go through your mobile and settings and you can see your MAC address. This is a physical address where the first three, this the first 6 digits are the manufacturing, the identifier of your manufacturer, and the next 3 digits is to identify your device. If you want, I will show you. This is the physical address. Now I will go to, if you want to check what is your physical address, who is your, means you are all using the laptops, right? Go to OUI lookup. Okay. And if you search this, what happened? See, mine is a Dell laptop, so they have been using with the clone with this electronics. Now if you go through Apple will be having its own unique pool of address. See, it will start with this FC67 AC 44 FC F8 FC A1. These are all the MAC addresses of the manufacturing. If this starts with this, you can easily identify this has been done by Apple. This product is of Apple with this vendor of the first 6 digits of your physical address. Or maybe if you are using Dell. So Dell, here it is, CC 30, 70. These are all pool which you are having using this one. So these will be identified. The first 6 digits means here the first 6 digits is to identify your manufacturer. The next 3 digits is to identify your device. This is MAC address. This will never change. This is for your system, for your own identification number. Your laptop, you will be having a separate physical MAC address. Your mobile will be having a different MAC address. If you want, okay, let me show you. Just a minute. See, this is my IP MAC address. My MAC address, my mobile's MAC address. I've just typed it and it is showing this to identify my manufacturer. Just to identify my manufacturer, this is the one. So tell me if anyone just go to your system, let me know if you have on your phone, just see that Wi-Fi address or something. Just let me know. I will just check and I'll let you know what is your MAC address, means who is your manufacturer. Anyone through your phone or your laptop, whatever it is, your physical address, just to make sure. Are you guys are there, right?
Yeah, sure, we are there. We are searching.
Yeah, just let me know. Means I will just explain because
So
We
we
need to
will
go for command prompt.
you got it. Are still working on it. Okay, that's fine. You can check it out. It's just oeilookup.com. It is there in the PPT also. Here it is. So you can go through it and you can check your physical address and you can check who is your manufacturer, just to make sure.
Ashok, one small doubt here that.
Yeah.
If it is in our laptop, it is fine. Right now, just I'm asking that friend to friend, not checking for not bridging the security issues. If I connected VDA, actually, right now we are doing through VDA only. Whatever it is, our work, our project work, and all those things. How to check here that this MAC address and all those things here that
No,
there is no manufacturing.
see, that is dependent, as I mentioned. This MAC address is a physical address. It is to your system. It is of your system. Means the laptop which you are using, that physical address will be there.
Okay.
The physical address of your system, laptop, that is the MAC address. It is having its unique identity number. So if you are using their server, means their server, their physical server or their laptop, their computer, Then you can go for the IP config all, or maybe if config all, so that it gives you all the details of that server.
Okay, no MAC address, no, for that?
No, the server will be having its own MAC address, right? Because it's a different system, right? It's a kind of a server.
Oh, okay.
Every system will be having a unique identification number. I think for Linux, I think if config other thing works out, I'll just let you know. I think it is in the PPT. I'll let you know because it's the same thing. See, everyone has a unique address, right? Everyone has a unique identification. Like that, every system has a unique identification. That is called MAC address. That's a simple thing. Means your laptop is having a different MAC address. My phone is having a different IP address. Sorry, MAC address. For your phone will be having a different MAC address. For your laptop will be having a different MAC address. Means this is the device which be able to identify which is it. Means with that MAC address we will be able to identify who is your manufacturer and where is your device. It is having its unique identification number. Every system has its unique identification number. Laptop, mobile, maybe your smartwatch, smartphone. Means if they are going to use it that way.
Okay, even though it is virtual private network.
Yeah, virtual private network also will be having the MAC address that whoever has actually done it, right, they will be having it. For that, we have to find out that we can do that. But who is the manufacturer? That we can easily find out. That I will give you the through WhatsApp. I'm going to give you no issues.
Thank you.
Any questions on the MAC address? Oh, one thing. This.
Look, do you want me to share my phone's Wi-Fi MAC address?
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
48.
Okay.
74.
Okay.
12. 85.
This is not the Wi-Fi. You are not telling the correct number.
No, it says device Wi-Fi MAC address only.
No, not the device Wi-Fi MAC address. Means Wi-Fi will be having different one. The modems will be having the Wi-Fi modem will be having like this one wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. For this is the physical address for me. Means I am being using this Wi-Fi's modem's address is this physical address.
Okay.
You can check it on your phone. In your phone also you'll be able to get it. Suppose Amazon. Whatever the Amazon technologies will be having this kind of MAC address. The manufacturing starting address will be this one.
Dell link.
Any questions? Come on, guys. 13 minutes more. I want to close, and I want to also ask questions to you also.
Can you kindly brush up once more with MAC address, Ashok? Since it is only left, we are only left with 13 minutes more. So kindly brush up.
MAC address, as I'm mentioning, your laptop, your mobile phone, whatever you using, that MAC address, that identification number of your laptop or your mobile phone is called MAC address. It's just a physical address which works at data link layer. That is the data link layer is it's a different concept. Means the OS layers will come once I'll explain you. If you want, you can go just through Google and just search OSI layers. So here you will be able to see this. This is the OSI layer where the MAC address will be working on the data link layer. Our IP address will be working on the network layer. This is the transport layer which transfers the data from software layers to the hardware layers. And this is the application layer. And this is the heart of the OSI. So the MAC address will be on the data link layer. The IP address works on the network layer. This I will explain you. If you want, you can go through also. It's a simple analogy how exactly the IT system works out, how exactly our day-to-day works out. So this is a simple thing, but I'm explaining this. Here the network layer will be changing because the network changes. changes, it will also be changing. But
It is
here
called
the
the
data
OSI model, is it, Ashok?
yes,
It is called the OSI model.
OSI
All-
layer.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, 7-layer system, no? This one.
Yeah, this is the one. With this only we actually work out. Means this is the how the network works out, how the day-to-day life works out, how the our system computer works out. This is the way. So you can go through it. There will be a lot of, but I will explain you. Going further, I am going to explain this. How exactly what is network layer, what is data link layer, how exactly we are transferring, where we are using, what is the application layer. This is the presentation layer where we are seeing right now. How exactly it works out. So that way we'll be seeing it. So I will explain it. As I mentioned, MAC address is a physical address which we will never be able to modify. Every system has its own MAC address.
Okay.
See, any questions? I think someone has pinged.
Yeah, Ashok, actually, I checked that my physical address.
Oh, yours is Dell. Yours is Dell, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Should I go further?
Yes, Ashok.
Okay, I'm just gonna mention the difference between IP versus MAC. As I mentioned, MAC address is a physical address. IP address is a logical. So MAC address on the data link layer, IP address works on the network layer. As I mentioned, MAC address helps in simplify identifying your device. IP address is the connection, identifies the connection of the device on the network. With your IP address, they will be able to identify which device has been connected to this IP address. And as I mentioned, MAC address cannot be changed. It will never be. Once you have your system, that system will be having a perfect IP MAC address. It will never be able to change. But IP address modifies with the time and environment. As I mentioned, MAC address cannot be found easily with that, because if you are connected to the internet, no one will be able to identify what device you are using. Never. But when you are connected with the IP address, they will be able to find out where you are exactly, in which location you are using there exactly with that IP address. There's a difference between IP versus MAC. How both work together is that the IP address transport the data from one network to another network. This TCP/IP protocol I will explain in the next class. And the MAC address takes that data and delivers to the right device on the network. So this way, how the actually our systems works out. It transports the data. The IP address transports the data from one network to another network. The MAC address delivers the data to the right device on the network. So this is the way how internet works out on our systems, and this is the difference. Any questions if you are having? I'm saying MAC address cannot be changed. IP address modifies with the time and environment. MAC address is to identify your device. IP address is to identify the connection of the device on the network. And MAC address operates on the data link, IP on the network link layer. MAC address is the physical address of your computer or your mobile or whatever the system you're using. IP address is a logical address, means the network address. And no MAC address cannot be found by the third party people, means no one. But with IP address, the person can be found in which location he is using that IP address. Any questions?
No, Ashok, from my end.
Nagesh, Ashwant.
No, Ashok, from my side.
So if you don't have questions, then I have my questions. Let me share my screen. Okay, let me see how. So Let's see. So first question. On the which of the following is not a correct IPv4 address?
Uh,
One. Up to now we have talked a lot about IP address, so we will be able to easily answer this question.
third one, Ashok.
Okay, why third one?
342 is there.
Yeah, that's right. See, the range of IP address is 0 to 255, but in this case the third number is more than 255, so this is not correct.
More than
So,
2, yes.
so what are all the commands to find the IP address in Windows? Up to now on Windows I have
IP
tried.
config.
Okay, and
IP config all.
IP config and IF config.
IF config. I'm talking about the Windows, not on the Unix. This IP config will be
IP
used on
config,
Windows.
third option.
Okay, there are two options, correct?
Then second one and third.
Yeah, second and third one.
Yeah, that's right. IP config shows the basic network information. IP config all shows the total full TCP IP. That's right. Okay, now this question, is a MAC address dynamic?
No, it is static.
No.
Yes. The MAC address is manufactured in every network such as Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and therefore then cannot be changed. That's right. MAC address is not dynamic. Okay, is MAC address required on the top of IP address to access the internet?
No.
No. MAC address is the identification for a device.
Device.
With internet.
Device and
Yes.
company.
See, you are using a MAC address. Okay, your laptop is using, your laptop is there. How you are going to connect to the internet? Your laptop is there. Right now I am talking with you people on a Skype call. How I am connecting it?
Through our local internet.
So if the internet is there, what will have it? What it will have?
IP.
That's right. See, the thing is that if the system has to access the internet, it should have an IP address, right?
Yes.
Yes.
See, if I'm using a laptop is there, if it is not connected to the internet, it's just a laptop. I'm not doing anything. But if I have to access anything on the internet, if I'm connected to the internet, it should have IP address. Means like my internet service provider is giving me an IP address to connect to that net, so that whatever I'm giving, it should come back to me. I'm sending some signals. I need to receive the data. It needs the address. I clearly mentioned in the on the above URL itself.
Okay.
See, here I'm clearly mentioning again, MAC address is to locate the correct device in the network, and IP address is used to transfer data from one network to another. You need the IP address. If you don't have IP address, you will never be able to connect to any internet at all. You will not be able to transfer data. You will not be able to receive the data at all.
Yes.
Any questions up to now?
No, sure.
No, sure.
No, sure.
Okay.
Like
Tomorrow,
one thing,
yeah.
like as Puneet asked this doubt, like 4.3 billion people, like 8 billion people at a time, they would be accessing this IP address. There would be difference.
No. See, as I mentioned
I'll
clearly.
complete the question, Ashok.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, okay. This would be for IP4. Then it would be taken for IP6, right? That would be of trillions. It would be the
But
power of
it's a 128-bit address, 2 for 128.
yes.
So you got the value, right?
Yes, Ashok. That would be in trillions.
Yes.
3 trillion something kind. 340. Yes. 340.
It's more than that. So that way, see, IPv6 is still under construction. Means it's working out. Going forward, they are going to means the robots and everything means with the future IoT will be on the IPv6.
Okay.
They will be working on it. The IPv4 is right now what we are using it. So at some point, if they lost that data, means if they are not able to have it, so they may change it.
Yes. Okay.
That depends on the network engineers who not with us. Any questions? Tomorrow, maybe on Thursday or maybe on Friday, I will help you to set up the Amazon account, so that you can directly access it, so that just for the basics at least, so that you can log in and use this thing, so to how exactly it works out. So I will do it. Actually, I'm stopping it every time. I'm forgetting that, so that you can easily access and you can do it with your same, with your just with your email ID and everything.
Sure, Ashok.
Any questions? Up to now, is everything clear?
Clear. It is clear, Ashok.
See, if you have doubts, let me know. You don't have to. You can ping me directly also.
I think while practicing about it, and then only we will get Ashok.
Sorry?
Because while practicing these are all things, then we will get a
Yeah.
chance.
See, the practice is the main thing. DevOps. Until you do practical sessions, you will not be able to. As I mentioned, I will maybe on this week I will take a class where I will explain how to create your Amazon account, so that you can do it, and you will have 1 year free access, so that you can work it out.
Yeah, yeah, we're telling point to point everything. Uh,
Sorry.
you are telling point to point everything you are telling. Maybe
Yeah. You are paying the money, right? You don't want that.
mm,
If you don't want
I'm
it, I
actually
will
paying the
go
money.
full fast.
No, no, it's not be like that. I'm telling
No,
that
no, I'm
it's
just, see,
appreciation thing.
my way is that, see, how much I teach, how much I uh, give my knowledge, that much I will be able to gain. Because like this, the questions you are asking, that way I may also to learn some more. It's not like that you just have to doing it. You have to take